Beats Planet.
Hey, so listen. First of all, we had to have a long conversation before we bring y'all in, 'cause that's typical round table fashion. There's a lot of different shapes of tables. You know, you got your triangulars and your rhombuses. You know what I'm saying? Some tables ain't even got no shape. Some tables shaped like pentagons, but it's different when that joint round. It's different when that joint circular. When the damn circumference is perfect. You know what I mean? It's levels to it. Voch Lombardi here, brother Law Nation here, brother 20,000 sub Fuster King up here.
Hey!
What y'all talking about? And the Koi is gonna be here in a little bit. But hey man, we haven't done one of these in a long time, man. Last time we did one of these, Dontari Poe was signed. Gerald McCoy and hysterical Clinton Dix was on the team. We ain't talking about Alden Smith. Like, it's been that long since we've been here. But we've had a lot of movement. A lot of things have been happening, and we're gonna touch on all those things. Schedule came out. Let me tell you something. I'm a big fan of Law Nation, man. I possibly don't always be in the chat box talking as much as I want to. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, because I watch them on TV, so I watch all the shows. I'm a big fan of Fuster King. I watch all the shows, and I've been seeing something on their channels I'm going to kind of hit them upside the head with that I ain't feeling. Hit them upside the head with some things I don't necessarily agree with. We'll cross that road whenever we get there. Foots also hit me up and said he got a little bone to pick with me. So this little thing gonna be different. This little shindig gonna be different.
It's gonna be like that octagon around his mug.
It's gonna be different. But first of all, fellas, what's happening? Y'all good? Y'all straight?
I feel great, Bacho. I'm ready to roll. I'm loaded tonight. Let's hit it, man.
Indubitably, Law Nation.
Yeah, man, I'm feeling good as well, man. I can't wait to talk about Cowboys. We've talked about this in our sleep. You know how it go.
You already know, man. Anyway, let's run it for the cardio, man. So, Cedarian Lamb is a Cowboy now. Damn. Yo, listen, let me tell y'all something, man. Let me just run this by y'all real quick, man. When we drafted CD Lamb, I said this on the stream. We ain't got to draft nobody else. We don't need nobody else, because we got Cedarian Lamb. But then we proceed to follow up with Trayvon Diggs. We follow up with Neville Gallimore, Reggie Robinson. Trade up. The Eagles gave us just gave us the pick to go get Ben DiNucci. Went to go get him. Bradley and I in the 7th. I said Ben DiNucci. My bad. Tyler Biadasz. Pardon me. Tyler Biadasz, then Bradley and I, then Ben DiNucci. Pardon me. Draft was fantastic. I haven't gotten Law Nation's perspective. Me and Foots kind of went back and forth on it, but the difference between now and then is we all have watched a lot more film collectively. That's the difference now. So I want to ask Brother Law Nation, who is your favorite prospect in this crop of gangsters that we brought in 2020, sir?
Okay, my favorite guy, you know, I love defense, and you know, it's already given that CD Lamb. We have high hopes and high expectations for the nation for him. But my pet cat out of everything is Reggie Robinson. I love it. I love his mental mindset. I know he come from he's the smallest school guy that's on there, but we love a person that got to fight his way, claw his way to the tops or what have you. He can pretty much do most of the things that people want to see. He got some footworks that he need to work on. I know my guy Foots the King over there can vouch to that. And I know you did some film sessions on him as well, on the Reggie kid. We like him as a prospect. And the sleeper out of this draft is number 51. Bradley Annihilator, however you want to call him. Those are my two guys right there that I'll be really focusing on, locked in on. Y'all know I just love defense.
I don't know why you like that old goof ass defense, man.
I love it.
Brother Foots, what about you, man?
So, first of all, shout out to y'all. Thanks for having me on again.
Indubitably.
Like you said, pre-show, man. Y'all got me through. Y'all getting me through this COVID crap. Like, I really don't watch ESPN. I check YouTube. I check y'all's breakdowns. I we do that stuff, and then we link, and when we link, it's good. So I'm glad to just be able to talk, man, on this Friday night.
Yes.
Now
it is Friday.
Let's talk about value for a second, because me and Voch super heavy draft guy. Like we started in January.
Yeah.
Was it January, Voch? Like our first look?
Yes, sir.
That's crazy.
So look,
you probably got top 5 right now for the 2021. Y'all, y'all two heroes, man. Y'all be on it, man.
Listen, man. Let me tell you something. Soon as we wasn't in the playoffs, I say, man, look, let me go ahead and get this draft going. Let me go ahead and get this draft prospect. But my bad though, Fuzz. Go ahead, man.
So that's facts. And listen, to think that there was any chance that we were gonna be able to draft CeeDee Lamb was mind blowing to me. Now, out of the big 3, however you feel about CeeDee Lamb, cool, that's fine. But the fact that, like, I think Voch is so right, Law. The fact that you draft him, the rest of your draft just made sense. There's no pundit in the world who tells me that if you get, like, if you would have told me that you get CeeDee Lamb in the 1st and Bradley and I in the 5th,
come on now,
you would have said the draft simulator was broke.
Come on now,
right?
You would have said it was broke, Voch. You would have been like, hold on, I got to redo that simulator. You know the simulators everybody does for the draft,
right?
Because, but I say all that to say, my favorite pick, without question, is Bradley and I in the 5th. I think that the process does people injustice. I think that it did AJ Epinesa injustice. I think that it did Bradley and I injustice. I think that it does players injustice because every year, Law, you have scouts that get time happy and get
size,
football and shorts happy.
Yeah.
And get just they forget that football is not a drill sport. It's you got to go out there and whoop somebody.
Sure. And
if you watch Bradley and I's film, if you watched his Senior Bowl tape, if you watched him against Austin Jackson, who was a 1st-round pick, you see a player that, I'll be honest, I called him James Harrison. Low to the ground. What people don't realize about the DN position is that when you have those guys like an Anai, like he's not super long, he's not super tall, his arms, but he converts speed to power. And one thing that I notice is he matches his feet with his hands. So like everybody just says, oh, hands. Definitely his hands, but he actually has really good feet. And he sets his moves up with his hands, his punches, his 2-hand punch, his 2-hand rip. And dog, the guy is just outrageous. Like he's relentless and he plays the run well. Like he chases, Bradley and I, to me, was my favorite pick of this draft.
That's and that's favorite hands down, huh? I thought you liked the Tyler Badass as well. You like
I like Biotish.
Y'all better talk about my offensive linemen. Y'all better talk about these offensive linemen now.
Well, you know what I like what they did, Voch?
Yes, sir.
I like that they went out and drafted a center and didn't try to I think so. I'm not mad at trying to convert McGovern to center, but if you got a chance to get a good center, you draft a good center. So I like that, but. To me, just like there's no way I would have ever thought that I thought I had a 2nd-round grade on a 9. That's my point. Like,
yeah.
Value.
And so he's there in the 5th is just puzzling to me.
Value.
I think that he looked at his arms. They said he got the Tyrannosaurus Rex. His arm's not long, but when you look at the tape, people
I know
silly. They look. I know Voch. Last night I saw you in the chat, man. We were talking about your dog. We was talking about your dog,
Law, you was upsetting
CD,
me.
and
was upsetting me.
I was trying to combat. We were talking about fast versus quickness, and I was sitting there saying that like, hey, he don't have that 4.5 speed, and I saw you like, hey, man, don't be talking about my dog. But people fail to realize he's quick though.
See, Law, this is my thing. First of all, everybody's favorite receivers in the game now run 4.5s. Maybe not your super athletic guys or whatever, but your Nuke Hopkins, your Michael Thomas, you know what I'm saying? Guys like that, they're 4.5 40 guys, right? But the more I watch film, man, and of course I watched film on CD early, but I kind of got obsessed with it once he was a Cowboy, and I watched his freshman tape, his sophomore tape, So I watched Baker, Kyler Murray, and Jalen Hurts. I saw all those. And I don't do player comps, right? But my ultimate, comp that I came up with is like, it's easy to call him DeAndre Hopkins. It's easy to call him that. But in my mind, he's before the catch, Anquan Bolden, after the catch, Alvin Kamara.
Wow.
That's my thoughts. And I put a lot of it took me a while to sit down and come up with a lot of that, but when you talk about Anquan or whatever, he's not like a super nuanced route runner or whatever, but he's going to win with his length and body positioning. You know what I'm saying? He'll jump ball you, 50-50 you. Cool. Not the best route runner in the world, but fine. And then once Anquan get the ball in his hands, then you can feel free to go chase him and tackle him, whatever you want to do. But Alvin, think about how Alvin make guys miss. He made guys miss in a sudden, shifty way.
He does.
Maybe not in a Barry Sanders kind of way. Not in a super like that kind of way, like a Devin Singletary watching him. But in the terms of your momentum, I can stop and redirect faster than you can get a beat on me. You know what I'm saying? I think that's we haven't had a receiver like that. We haven't had a receiver like that pre and post catch. So, of course, I have this obsession with CeeDee Lamb and his play style now. Plus, he don't drop passes. You can't beat that with a stick. Randall Cobb, I'm sorry. Randall Cobb dropped some passes, and Dak would have broke the record, and we'd have had 3,000-yard receivers. That would have been something new in the National Football League. I don't think CeeDee Lamb dropped those passes. Plus,
can I say this, though,
absolutely.
King Voch?
Absolutely, Brother Law Nation. Absolutely.
If we say that Michael Gallup is good after the catch, how people bouncing off of him and everything. Sure. So Michael Gallup is the great value version of what CeeDee Lamb brings to the table.
I wouldn't even call it great value because they run different. Michael, Foots kind of put me onto this way of thinking. Michael Gallup runs pissed off and angry, kind of like T.O.
Yeah,
he's not the athlete T.O. is. He's not the receiver that he is, but just how he runs, just angry and dragging people. He runs like T.O. But CD don't run like that. CD avoids people.
Yeah, he's weird. Like, I can't explain it.
Coop just faster than people. You know what I'm saying? Coop just faster than folk. So So we really got poison for your ass to pick from. Pick.
Yeah. So with CD, I had to go back, and I kind of did what you did too. Sure. So what Dallas can't do, because Voch and Law, they killed the film. To me, what Dallas can't do is overthink him.
Absolutely.
And I don't think McCarthy will. And I don't know if you're going to get to this, but I just want to say, Law, I know I'm very happy with Mike McCarthy. I'll be honest. Good, bad, and in between. His imprint is on his team, guys, and it's starting to show. Cooper Rush getting his ass cut.
He's gone.
I loved it.
And I tell you what, though, Foots.
I didn't like it. I loved it.
Foots,
not to go off topic, but
no, you good. How about this? Because we keeping it here or whatever. I think that's something that we notice a lot. Like at some point, we're gonna talk about like there's gonna be a round table on team building. There's gonna be some people that have a guaranteed stamp. Dak good, Zeke good, the offensive line good, right? But there's a handful of guys
that ain't stamped, dog.
Dalton Schultz got to fight for his. I'm sorry.
Listen, all of these guys, all these Garrett guys. Hey, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Cedric Wilson. Hey, hey, some of these guys who were drafted in that regime, like you said, if you don't have a stamp by your name, Zach Martin, Tyron, a couple others, hey. You gonna have to compete, and that's kind of where I know. So it was between Anai and Diggs for me, but I made a video. I love
Diggs, man. I love Diggs.
I made a video about. I'm really talking myself into him starting early. If you look at how McCarthy is drafted, when he drafted Jair Alexander 2 years ago, he started him. Kevin King, he started him. He will take a corner and throw him out there. So that's just something to think about. But at the end of the day, you see his imprint. I saw his imprint in his draft, bro. Like, I saw the way that they drafted. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't think that Garrett takes CeeDee Lamb, y'all. I think he fights and goes politically correct, and I thought that would have been a huge mistake. I don't think he would have drafted a lineman.
I'd have been sick.
Or he would have drafted Kaylamon Chason.
I'd have been sick.
And that's not because Kaylamon's not a good player, but he would have saw that when he had a need or whatever.
Sure.
And he would have drafted Kaylamon Chason.
Sure. Yeah, man, you know,
Right.
thing about somebody said something, I think Foot said earlier, not to overthink CeeDee Lamb. I think this is the good thing about it. CeeDee Lamb ain't got to come out and be wide receiver 1 today. I think he will be. He will be at some point. But CeeDee Lamb is going to go against them third corners. CeeDee Lamb going to work the hashes. He's going to give us an opportunity to put Coop inside. And it's going to be ball game. I think on the average, rookies get about 80 or so targets. And people were saying, well, since the Cowboys got so many receivers, CeeDee Lamb may not get them targets. Well, Randall Cobb is our third receiver, got like 85 targets last year. So
absolutely.
So
absolutely.
If you just do passing game stuff with CD and then incorporate like plays designed just for him, because we saw in the post draft conference or whatever, Mike McCarthy said, "Man, look, I called Kellen Moore that night and we got some plays rocking." So what that means to me is that they're gonna create stuff just for CD Lamb. So that option play that like last year there was this motion option that they did, right? Tony will come in the slot motion in the backfield, they'll throw it to Tony, or they'll run it with Zeke. RPO kind of stuff. That's going to be CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is going to be possibly a jet sweep guy. He's going to possibly be the pitch option threat. Then he can go and do regular receiver things. I'm excited. Plus, he's on what, 5-year contract with us? So if Gallup ain't here in 2 years, we ain't got to look at receiver no more. Or if Coop ain't here in 2 years that he's guaranteed, he ain't going to be here no more. You know what I'm saying? Matchup wise, if Darius Slay want to take Coop out the game and they want to double team Gallup, good luck to you. Good luck to you. I'm super excited, man. I'm super excited. But let me run this by y'all too, though. And it's kind of going to segue into something Fuss was going to tell me about because he wanted to fuss with me. So last year, Cowboy fans were upset because our draft picks weren't playing immediately. And I can give you a long list of reasons why draft picks don't necessarily play immediately. I can give you a long list why. But my main reason why is that if you, like, we can only carry so many people on game day rosters, first of all. And if you have people in place already, it's going to be hard for those guys to get on the field. So when Donovan wasn't really getting on the field and Tristan wasn't there and Connor was hurt, a lot of people looked at our draft class last year as a failure. As Voch clears his throat, Lamb probably gonna start, but he's special. He's CeeDee Lamb. Trayvon Diggs he could, but he probably won't start for you. Because there's guys in place. He can fight for his spot, but he probably won't start. If anything, kicking game, that'll put him on the roster. But starting wise, I don't see it. I don't see him starting week 1. I got you. Watch this.
Okay,
watch
I'm
this.
sorry.
You good. You good.
We're gonna fuss. My bad.
Let me just set the table. Let me just set the table. I'm gonna let you fly. Trayvon can compete, but I don't think he starts. I don't think Reggie starts. Tyler's in a situation where he ain't got to start, and I don't think he does. I don't think Team Toxic lets Bradley get on the field. And I miss somebody. Tyler, Toxic. Who am I missing? Tyler, Bradley.
Stupid Team Toxic.
Oh yeah, Neville Gallimore. Gallimore may or may not. He may or may not play year 1. Because we just got guys on this roster already. If they can come in and do a little something, then that'll be a win for us. But we got guys in place to where they don't have to. I don't want Cowboy fans to hate this class just because somebody's not on the field year 1. If Tyler Badass ain't starting year 1, he ain't bad. Just that Connor McGovern probably just won that spot from him. You know what I'm saying? Reggie may not be ready to go year 1. Diggs can probably play, but if he can't take Jordan and Cheeto and AB spot because AB's probably just a better nickel guy and Diggs is a better outside guy and he can't beat Cheeto and Jordan outside, that's fine. That don't mean guys are bad. Just means that they got to develop. Now, Foots want to hit me upside the head with a cornerback take, and Foots also want to hit me upside the head with a Neville Gallimore, Tristan Hill tape, and I'm ready to listen, sir. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm ready too.
And let's so Voch is team development. I'm team development. However, I'm team development. So first we got to know what I need to know this. And Law, you jump in, Voch, you jump in. I ain't hitting Voch upside the head. I just want to challenge him a little bit. I'm going to go on record and say Tristan Hill won't make this team next year. Okay. And for a couple reasons, I think that they're not going to let another taco situation happen. And I really don't see how with a McCoy, I just don't see with the threes that we have how he beats out a Neville. He wasn't drafted by this regime. And I don't think the problems that we heard about Tristan Hill, I think that so the strength was the issue. Mm-hmm. The strength was the issue. I don't think the way that, and they said that he wasn't very mature. I don't think that somebody like that is going to get stronger and be more locked in. Now, I could be wrong. Voch could be right, and he could come in and surprise the hell out of me because I remember early on DeMarcus Lawrence's career wasn't great. Sure. So that's just kind of my bold prediction because when I watch Neville, bruh, I just see.
He said, bruh.
Hey, Law, I just see what I need to see from a three technique, and he's bigger than Tristan, and he plays bigger than Tristan with the same twitch. And I remember Malik. He reminds me of Malik Collins, and I remember him coming in year one. I never forget Malik's rookie year and having the impact that he had. So that's just kind of my thoughts. And then Trayvon Diggs, I'll be honest. Right now, to me, on the outside, he's better than Anthony Brown. I just don't like Anthony Brown. I like Cheeto. Cheeto's just so good and then so bad at times. Mm-hmm. But you hear the issues about what Chris Richard was asking him to do. Yeah. So hopefully Al Harris can clean some of that up. But I just think that right now, Voch, like, be honest, Voch, the size metric, the speed, Trayvon Diggs and him playing in the SEC, is Purdue in the SEC? Yeah, Purdue's in the SEC, but I mean, Purdue playing big games in the SEC. Right. I just say that, and I'm watching Trayvon Diggs, and if nothing else, bruh, you can literally just say, dog, just go play press and just let your arms just be super long and just be that player. So I don't know. I just say that Diggs right now, I don't think he's better than Cheeto, but I do think he's better than Anthony Brown on the outside.
Well, this is why I have to lean, and trust me, Foots, I love your film, I love your thoughts, but I'm leaning a little bit on Voch's opinion about who should start as it relates to those young guys on DB side. I love Diggs, but the one thing that you do not want is his confidence being shattered. That's a good point. We play against some good wide receivers for the first few games. Yeah. And I would rather see some of these guys that we pick up. I would rather see against we got to play against these Atlanta Falcons week 2, right? Yeah. And that's Julio Jones. That's Calvin Ridley. Mm-hmm. And I don't know who's all on the LA team as it relates to wide receivers, but I know that they're going to give them a lot of play actions, what have you. So I don't want to shatter his confidence. I've seen even Jalen Ramsey crying on the sideline for crying out loud, So his confidence could be shattered, and I want them to wing him in slowly, and then hopefully around week 5, week 6, he can get that role.
Let me ask you this. Somebody's made a good point there. Does where he went to school does that help you at all?
I don't feed into that. I don't feed into the Alabama cornerback thing. I don't feed into it. I think if you could play, you could play. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Yeah.
So I do think that. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Mm-hmm. But just a handful of points though. I think with the whole Diggs thing, I think it's gonna matter about placement. If we didn't have a good outside corner, I think Diggs is a really good outside corner right now because you take away half his responsibility. If he's on the right side, he got the right sideline to help him. You only got to worry about your left, basically, and Diggs will be fine there. My problem is that if you put him at nickel, you got to have a two-way go there. You can go left, or you can go right.
I'm not mad. I want Diggs. Mm-hmm. Diggs is the outside corner.
Absolutely,
that's it for me.
So he's gonna start over Worley.
No. What I'm saying is this. Right now, I think Dallas. Let me ask y'all this. All right, so let's kind of let's reshuffle Voch and Law. I think that Dallas has Anthony Brown right now listed as like if they had to play a game tomorrow, they would probably have Brown on the outside and Cheeto on the outside. Correct? Or am I wrong?
That's that mess Jason Garrett and Chris Richard was doing, man. I think just in my personal opinion,
I think Jordan Lewis would be better. Yes.
In my personal opinion, I think our two best outside corners are Jordan and Cheeto. And I think they're better than Diggs right now. Will Diggs be better than them next year? I think so. But as of right now, I think I think Cheeto and Jordan are the outside guys. So if Diggs is getting on the field, it's dime and it's competing in nickel. And I think Brown he may not be the better athlete, but just as a nuanced player, I've been here before, he has time in the nickel, and Diggs does too, but he got league time in the nickel. I just
How bad did he really play, Voch, in 2016 as an outside corner? I'm talking about Brown when he came in.
He played great. Bro, his rookie year was really good. You know what? I ain't gonna lie there, bro.
You know what? I think we protected Brown a lot, but when we gave him a lot more responsibility, he kind of started to get picked on. I think that's what happened. Now, I don't have a preference here. Whoever better. Whoever win.
I just thought his confidence was shattered when, remember, he played good all that year. We made it to the playoff. And they said, hey, Mo, here you go. It's your spot. And they gave it back to Mo. And Mo, against that Green Bay Packers game, ooh, he didn't look that good, Yeah. So I just feel like that's when his confidence was shattered. It's like I came all the way up to this point, and then 2017 he got kind of messed up real bad, and he's been on a downward spiral since then.
Chat box say,
so I'm gonna tell you.
Hey, Fools, hold that thought in the chat box. Joshua said, Law had a good point. What about Worley? Let me just toss my pen. Anybody think about no Worley? I don't care about no Daryl Worley. Care about him?
Hey.
Go ahead,
and even somebody talking about Westry. Westry's feet are terrible.
Chris Westry gone. He gone.
I don't even think he on it. Yeah. So
my bad,
here's my last point, guys, and this is good stuff right here. So how can I say this? Did Chris Richard hurt these guys by not?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. I think Voch, honestly, bro. Voch started that conversation mid-season, and I know I picked up towards the end. These guys, bro, they just did not play the ball correctly, bro. I don't know what the hell they were being coached.
On Twitter.
I raised my hand that I thought that Chris Richard was a great coach. But, dog.
Can I give my grievance right quick before you go to more point? We had George Iloka on the show the other day, right?
Talk that shit, Law. Media man, Law.
And Law, just everybody.
Go ahead.
He was right. Y'all two was right. Y'all two was right about Christopher Richard the whole time. He said, man, it was like this. He would have a certain concept. You know how you play with the 7 in the box? And he said, wait a minute. He going to bring in the extra with the 8. And you showing them the 8, you ain't going to discard? He said, no, we just going to run what we got.
Damn.
And that's how he played. And trust me, when you're in Seattle land, when you got all of those defensive fronts like you got the way they got,
that's great, right?
You can do that. But with the Dallas Cowboys, you got to disguise. So I didn't know, and I apologize, Cowboy Nation and beyond. I didn't know that Chris Richard was so vanilla as well. He was vanilla with his play calling and schemes. And of course, the way he taught the players. That's why you saw a diminishing rate of return on Jordan Lewis' skill set. That's why you saw the only person that he helped was Byram Get Down Jones. That's the only person. Everybody else, if you go back and look at the 2017 tape, everybody else regressed because Cheeto, even in 2017,
he was
the technique that they were showing. Yeah, he showed promise. Jordan Lewis showed promise. So I apologize, nation.
Law, first of all, Law, first of all, Law, if you can get a head coaching job for saying, you know what, Byron shouldn't play free safety to put him at corner, then I should be a damn head coach in the league. It don't take a genius to know that.
Hey,
Brother Okoye, what's good, man?
Hey, you want to know something? That's why I don't want to move Cheeto to safety.
Fair.
Because I think that that's just me. I don't want to. I think that you are dog. Like there's very rare athletes that can do both. Right. This is the pros, bro. Like just thinking like they're gonna be Charles Woodson or Malcolm Jenkins. I know Malcolm Jenkins played for Philly. Malcolm Jenkins was a damn good player at Ohio State, bro.
Oh, yeah,
like
facts.
one of a kind athlete.
Talk
So
about.
to think that Byron was never a safety. Safeties think different, bro. They're more physical than everybody else on the field. They have to be.
Right.
And so
Ed Reed was the most physical guy on the field.
who's that?
In off the top rope.
Collier Media is the most physical player on the field.
You see me throwing elbows from the top ropes. But no, Ed Reed though. Ed Reed wasn't, and your dude Delpit.
Well, no, but
they're not. Minka Fitzpatrick is.
Minka physical.
Can we introduce you to the show?
CP time is a real thing, man.
Time out. Wait a minute. Don't just come on my show.
I don't even think it's racist when you say it anymore. CP time. I don't want to get nobody beat up, but CP time is a real thing, man. I can't get here on time to save my life.
Don't just come on my show and not introduce yourself. You ain't gonna speak.
How you doing? My name is Clark Duncan. Michael Clark Duncan.
You ain't gonna speak. Collier Media in the building, y'all. The fourth member of the round table. How you doing, sir?
What's up, y'all, man? How you doing, man? I walked in the middle of the argument, but
it
sounded like a juicy one already, though, on some real. But I disagree with you 100% when I say, well, you don't have to say or believe that Cheeto is a good safety. Foots, you don't have to believe it, because all you gotta do is watch him. If you watch his film, he made more plays horizontally in the box on that 15 yards off the ball space than he did anywhere else. He wasn't making plays on the perimeter at corner. He was making plays in the backfield as a nickel corner, or making plays in the middle of the field as really a nickel corner / safety, but he was roaming in the middle of the field. Now he's not laying wood in the middle of the field. He's not Roy Williams, but that's where he makes his plays in regards to, like, you need to give him the ability. And the only way I can see you doing it is by making him a safety. You need to give him the ability to be able to make decisions in the middle of the field and use his eyes and his instincts. He can't really do that if you're saying, hey, this is your guy right here in front of you. And that's it.
See, I just don't. I think they weren't taught correctly, bro. Like the press man techniques they were playing. I don't know.
Press man? Only Byron was playing press man. Cheetah was playing 15, 20 yards off the ball. There was no press man for Cheetah. Maybe in the Saints game.
Yeah, that Saints game. That's what helped him, boy.
Well, honestly, I'll be honest. Cheeto, it's up, is down. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I just want to throw him at safety. We'll see. I want to give Donovan Wilson a shot, though. You know what I mean?
What about Cheeto at nickel, slot, something like that?
I think
days.
Cheeto.
But then, so you want to take Jordan Lewis off the field?
No.
Man, I think we had a conversation before.
Yeah, I wouldn't take him off the field.
Let's just run dime. the whole game. Why not?
Why not?
Hold on. But then teams going, 13 you.
What about
they're gonna put you on 13 personnel? Nah, because if you get all those little DBs on the field, teams like the Minnesota Vikings is gonna run at you.
Absolutely.
So
he said we're gonna be more of a cover 4 team. That's what Loca said.
We better not be a damn cover 4 team.
He said that's what
I'm not a fan of cover 4.
George Loca don't know.
He running over there. He said that's what they are running over there in Vikings land.
Really?
This ain't Vikings land. He don't know. Get him up out of here.
Well, hold on. Nolan was, but see what Nolan
but he's not
Saints? Nolan was with the Saints, correct?
Yeah.
I gotta go look at what they really ran. I mean, hey, if you want to try Cheeto as safety, that's cool.
I mean, I just think that he's freer there.
He did do it at Colorado.
And then he gives us more flexibility than you think, though, right? If we're playing a base 3-4-4-3, whatever it is, doesn't matter. If he's out there as safety, think about that. If someone runs if they shift formation, or if they decide to run 3 wide at any given time, I'm not afraid of Cheeto stepping down in that base formation with 3 linebackers still on the field. I'm not afraid of Cheeto stepping down and playing nickel in those situations with high, single high over the middle. I don't care about look. I'm not scared of that look. You know what I mean? Whereas, so that gives us flexibility, so he can come down in the slot in those situations and keep your linebackers on the field.
I'm
I like
trying to get Ha out the field.
damn, you try to get out the box.
Yeah,
Bro,
that's fair.
I seen him play. Maybe it was so he had some decent plays with the Bears, with the Skins. When he was with the Skins, it was just awful.
Yeah, I mean, with the Skins,
They'll do that to you though. They will do that to
I'm
you,
about to
Quay.
say
I'm gonna give you
they
that.
got Ryan Kerrigan or whatever his name is. He the only one to look good on their team. Other than
Yeah,
that, who are the Skins?
Brother
like, and it's
Koye.
crazy to talk about that team. They draft so many D linemen, and all of them end up just
Trash.
average. Yeah.
Koye,
That's
let me
the
ask you a
Hey,
question.
you know what? Here's my thing. All right, so
Go.
what I want to know is, without them having a off season, do you guys think that makes sense, or will it even, like, that's a lot to learn, a new defense and a switch of position.
I
I mean,
think
if you know, but it's tricky.
They'll be all right. They'll be all right because they're going to get them books and them iPads and all that. They'll be all right. Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah. Beyond that, you got more time at home to study. If you don't know the playbook now, something wrong with you.
They ain't got no choice but to learn that more. But listen, Koye Media, let me ask you a question. The other members of the round table have answered this already, and I know you've been watching film in your own right. Who is your favorite rookie from this draft class, sir?
Woo! Okay,
That's
a loaded question, man.
It's good.
I don't think I can answer with one because I'm excited about this entire. The only players I really, only that I don't care about is our quarterback. I don't remember what his name is.
Ben DiNucci. I was talking crazy because I ain't never heard of him, but I went back to watch the film on him.
I'm gonna send you something on him too. I got some coaches film of him. He's but I haven't really dug into his film the way I want to. But everybody else, Reggie Robinson, I think is a wild card. I understand, and I owe everybody another breakdown of him too because it was choppy. My computer, gave out on me right in the middle of that one too. So I took it down. But my computer's back now. But Reggie Robinson, I noticed one thing about him, like, because for real, I was actually scratching my head at that pick at first. So I did a full 180 on it because I said, well, why go get two guys that are just like Trayvon Diggs? Like, what's the point? And then we got Worley right after that. Love that pickup too. But the reason I said, I didn't really understand it because his length and height and weight, everything kind of compares to Trayvon. But I think Trayvon is more of I wouldn't say zone guy. He's more fluid. He's more fluid. You can ask him to do more things, but he's not. I don't think he's better than Reggie as far as athleticism. He's been in a better system, a little bit more pressure. I think he can come in day one and do more. So if you say, like, who's my favorite day one starter, it's out of Lamb and Diggs with that one. But if you say, like, who's going to have the most impact that you wouldn't expect, I think that would be Neville Gallimore and Reggie Robinson. And the reason being, Reggie never had safety help. I watched 5 games of him. 5. Now, one of them was against UCF, who ran a lot. The other one was against Navy, so they don't count either. But the other 3, Oklahoma State was crazy. SMU, they were throwing the ball at him like crazy. And I forgot the last game.
Texas, North Texas, maybe, possibly.
I'm not sure what the last one was, but I watched him get tested quite a bit. And the only plays he ever gave up was when someone, and I'm talking about, he's pressed man the entire game, unless they're asking him to play zone because they'll throw trips at him to try to back him up off of his press. He'll still press, or they'll yank him down to the ground. I saw a guy put his hands like right inside of his shoulder pads and yank him to the ground, and he should have got a touchdown on him. He chased him down too. Yeah. But this is with 0 safety help. No corners. Corners usually don't press that often when they know they have 0 help at all, and he doesn't care. He'll press all game. So I doubt we'll put him out there in situations where he's always on an island like that. But the fact that he was able to do that, play in, play out, I think at man coverage, just straight up press man, he's better than Trayvon at straight up press man, and he tackles better. So I think he's definitely one of those guys. I think he's the Byron replacement out of this group. Like, he plays a lot like Byron, where they were using him just to erase one guy and allowing their defense the flexibility to shift to the opposite side and do whatever they wanted. So if he can get on the field, if he is the real deal, he's coming from a smaller school, but if he can get on the field early due to whatever log jam creates an opportunity for him, or maybe preseason or whatever, if he can get on the field early, I think has some confidence under him. I don't think his confidence is going to be as a rookie would be, because he's used to being out there by himself in the first place. So if he can get out there on the field, I think we'll be surprised by what he can do. And then Neville Gallimore, because we need. I think the fact that we have Poe, Gallimore, a young Tristan Hill, we have Woods like that, and then McCoy. Like in the middle of the field, we are nasty now.
So listen, brother Koye, how about this?
That's
How about
impact right there, man. So I don't know those two right there, though.
Let me ask you a question, brother Koye. In terms of Neville Gallimore and how you answer this question decides on whether you're on my side or foot side. So like answer carefully or whatever.
Cool. I like this trivia.
In terms of brother Neville Gallimore, we're not looking at him as the Oklahoma prospect. We're not looking at him as a Senior Bowl guy because all those films are impressive. But in terms of Neville Gallimore as a day one Cowboy, where do you think he kind of fits? Do you think he'll come right in and do something? Do you think he should grow bigger? He needs to get in the weight room. He'll develop a little bit. What's your day one? Take college away from this. What's your day one scouting report? And based on your answer is whether me and Foot's about to argue about something for a second. Go ahead.
Okay. Day one, this is what I'll say. Yes. Gallimore is already strong enough to answer that question, to play in the NFL, I believe. I don't care what he benched at the combine. I'm talking about throwing grown men. He was double teamed most of his college career, unless they asked him to stunt, or unless a team like Texas was crazy enough to kick. They were playing a formation, a dollar against Texas, where it was forcing their tackles to kick out, and their guards were kind of protecting their inside shoulder. So he was singled up with the center a lot. And he was just abusing that man like a little boy, man. So whenever I've seen him singled up, he destroyed his man. So do I think he'll do that play in, play out in the NFL? No. But do I think he has what it takes to get a couple over, 5-sack type guy like a Malik? I think he can come in and be a Malik Collins, basically what I'm saying. I guess the long story short.
Oh, great. Hold on. Great effing minds think alike. Great effing minds think alike.
He's strong, great feet.
Great effing minds think alike. I want the chat box to stamp exactly what I said.
What he can
means,
do, man.
That means nothing to me.
I don't think he's gonna come in trashing everybody though. But
hold on.
As far as depth chart concerned, though,
I think he's more versatile. Yeah.
Hey,
one at a time. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry about
it. You good.
Go ahead. No, because look, Okoye. Normally it'd be me and Okoye
going at it.
Yeah. What's he look? This is my thing.
Like Neville.
This is my thing. I'm a huge fan of Neville. I like Neville. What I got from Neville, I found Neville I found him beating people because of his first step. Right. I found him. Just sometimes he would get on people quicker than they realized he could get on them, right? And that giving him the advantage to kind of whatever.
Yeah,
but like the more I saw him, then his Senior Bowl practice footage, what I noticed is that if you can get hands on him, you just kind of got hands on him. Like once he's blocked or whatever. So that kind of gives me an idea of what his power is. He is a powerful player, but I think his strength plus his first step is what makes him strong.
Here's the thing though, Voch. When you watch him in practice, I don't think that says enough because his instincts aren't upfield. He's not Tristan Hill. He's not that guy. He's not McCoy either.
He should be though. He should be. He should be because his. Go ahead.
Let me finish my point. Now,
I'll let you talk.
You know that Rob Marinelli, they like upfield guys, man. They like upfield guys. Rob Marinelli did, but when you watch his film. He's not. The reason I like him is he's not just a guy that's going to wreak havoc on every play and get upfield. The reason I brought up Malik Collins is because Malik Collins got a bad rap here in Dallas, because he used to sacrifice himself in those stunts to open up airways for everyone else, and that's what you're supposed to do. So it's not like you want a fucking cookie for doing your job, but still, that's what he was an unsung hero with that, and so is Tyron Crawford as well. They both play like that. This guy, Gallimore, you would see him on a regular basis. He was looking for the double team, on a regular basis, and he's a two-gapper. So that's why it surprises me that you don't like him as much as you like. You the one who taught me how important your ability to not only navigate, both lanes while you're two-gapping, but also keep your eyes and your head on the swivel. Watching your video showed me that, right? So he's a two-gapping motherfucker. So he's not gonna look as great in a drill that says, okay, get up the field, get at a quarterback. But if you look at him in a run fit, you're not moving him. And so he might be blocked, but you are too. You're not getting to the second level and touching Jalen or LVE if he gets his hands on you, or if you if you run into, because he plays more like a nose tackle than he does a 3-tech guy. He's not trying to get upfield really. He can do it, but that's when you watch him in games, how they were using him was to be able to keep only 3 guys out on the field, but still be stout against the run at the same time. So he was soaking up double teams and triple teams on a regular basis, and they weren't moving them. If you can't move a guy and there's 3 of you, that just let me know what type of guy he is.
So what I saw was, first of all, Voch, you see my man made my point. Not even made my point, but it was crazy that we both comped Malik Collins. So
allow me to retort, but go ahead.
Okay, let's get into it.
He ain't even hyped to get in there either, so this could be some shit.
Hey, Bob, I'm about to say, Bob, let's stay here for a little bit.
Cool. Let's do this.
I don't think Oklahoma used him right, bro.
Exactly. That's what I'm about to say.
You said that with all the stunting. You said, "What the hell?" I watched that video.
And that was honestly, I watched your stuff too, Voch. But when I first watched, this was I think before you even dropped. I watched the Texas game, because that was obviously the most accessible. But then I forget the other game that I watched. But I watched how play in and play out,
like Baylor,
how disruptive that he was.
Sure.
And I think that the motor. So I just don't. If we take a look at the roster, bro, Woods, Gallimore, Poe, McCoy, Hill. You're not bringing 5 nose tackle, D tackle, whatever you want, 3 tackle. You're not bringing 5 of them to the game day roster.
You are if you play 3-4.
We're not playing 3-4 though. We're not playing.
Yeah, I was about to say, and they're not even gonna call the true 3-4. I don't know what.
It's gonna be a hybrid situation. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying, Ola? I don't think all of them make it to the game day. I don't.
Well, see, my thing is first of all, Okoye, I don't dislike Neville Gallimore. I just don't think he's gonna be ready day one.
Okay.
And
I mean, but does he need to be? Like, he'll play, but he's not.
Let me rock. I'll let you talk.
Snaps. How many snaps with McCoy and Dante Ontario Poe? How many snaps will those boys get?
Well,
see, Lord, that's what I need to find out.
Yeah.
Well, thing about, and this why Hill couldn't get. Okay, let me just rock for like 5 minutes. I got so many thoughts. So first of all, D tackles, if you're not one of the first few guys, you're not getting on the field because they don't play kickoff. They don't play punt return or whatever. So that's why Tristan wasn't getting on the field. So if you Neville Gallimore, you got to be in that top 3 or so guys at 3-tech, right? Not at 1. I don't think he's going to be playing 1-tech. But you've got to be one of those top 3 or so guys to be on the active roster. You could be on the roster, but the active, the 46 or so or whatever. So my point is, I don't think Neville Gallimore is going to be a day 1 46 rotational roster guy, and that's okay. That's cool. Sure. How I think this system is going to work is that Crawford is going to be worked in that 3-tech somewhere because Team Toxic going to be so heavy on the right side, assuming that they get reinstated or whatever. But I think, and this just me projecting, I think Tristan Hill has more off-season experience, and I think that means something. When I watch Neville Gallimore, my report on him is that positive, everything we've said. Plus, I think Neville Gallimore just got to get a little bigger, like man body bigger, and pro league stronger. Yes, he throws the Baylor kids around, he throws the Texas kids around, but that's different when you run into one of these gangsters or whatever. So that's not a slight against Gallimore. I just want Gallimore to be a little more, just have another offseason up under him. He could be better than Tristan Hill. Tristan Hill could be cut, Foots. He could be cut this year.
I doubt that.
But
I doubt that.
I agree. Foot said he might get cut. I'm just saying he might.
No, those going to be the 2 staples after all this is said.
And that's my point. Watch this.
McCoy is not going to be here. Those 2 guys are like a year placeholder till these guys are fully ready to start.
That's my point.
So, if I'm this particular staff, then if you're thinking that you have reservations on Hill, you would like to showcase them. Really, remember they showcase those guys a lot in preseason. You build them up to pump them up, and then you figure out how can I use them as trade bait. If not, if they really feeling like Tristan Hill is that person that's going to be able to step it up this year, we will see them preserve it.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. Real fast. 2 seconds. First, I got you. I swear to God, I got you. 2 seconds.
I swear to God, I got you.
My big problem with Tristan Hill and Cowboy fans. First of all, he just wasn't ready. But that's common. That's common for D linemen. You're 20 years old going against people that's been in the league for 5 years. Shaq Barrett was trash for 5 years and he just led the league in sacks last year. Sometimes you just gotta develop. But the thing about Tristan is, I think, first of all, Tristan wasn't great when he was on the field last year because they made him play one tech because we didn't have one techs behind.
And then they kept on stunting him out of the fucking way too.
They kept stunting him.
He was giving up space on his own. It wasn't like he was getting pushed off the ball. He was moving off the ball.
If you put Tristan Hill where he belongs in B gap, right, with his man body, with another offseason behind him, I think Tristan Hill can play for you. Is he going to be better than McCoy and Crawford? Probably not. Whatever. You got to keep growing, young man. But I think while Tristan is doing that, then Neville's going to be doing his developing. He's going to be in the oven cooking. Then when Gerald McCoy is 36 and we ain't paying you no more, it's going to be the Hill McCoy show. That's my only point. Now,
that's a good point.
Go ahead, Fuzz. My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just have reservations because with this regime, well, especially so there's we see now that McCarthy is putting his stamp on this team, and the league, the rule is if I didn't draft you, I mean, hey, so if he's in the lab, I get it. But you see where San Francisco is with Solomon Thomas, Voch, how it was kind of like, even though he was kind of look good out there with those guys that they brought in, they still, I don't think they picked up his fifth year or whatever. I don't even know if he's back on that team, but
sure,
it was just kind of like, we're done. We drafted his replacement, or
well, see, that's the difference, though. They drafted what's my guy? South Carolina. See, Solomon Thomas was the 3rd overall pick. We got Tristan like 58.
But Tristan, hold on. So that's what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
Dallas, I thought they reached on him last year, bro. Like, for that to be your first pick, I didn't have a second round grade on him. I get it, but that was a Rod pick, and there's been reports that Rod really wanted Tristan Hill. And so, like, that also kind of leads to my point. Like, I just don't know how much of a leash he's gonna have. He couldn't even he was a healthy scratch a lot. But that goes back to your point of him not being ready. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't want to give up on him. Right. But if a guy's playing better, I'm not just going to put him out there because I drafted him last year.
Sure thing.
And I didn't draft him. You know what I'm saying?
Sure thing.
So that's just where I'm at with it. Like, if Neville Gallimore is clearly better, I don't see how he makes the 46. And then I don't see how he's going to get better. Like, he's going to play. You're not going to tuck. Then he's going to turn into Charles Tapper. Like, you're not going to tuck him away for years.
They're not cutting him. They're not going to cut him.
Hey, bro,
he got that first step alone is something to build off of. And Tristan, both of them got a great first step.
They do.
Does he come in and dominate this year? I mean, who knows? But I doubt that, depending on our scheme. But you also got to take into account a lot of the things we liked or even didn't like about this defense last year and the year before, you really got to throw out the window offensively too, really, with Mike McCarthy here, because even though, Kellen's still here, Mike McCarthy is an offensive minded guy. So a lot of the things that we liked and didn't like about these guys' tendencies, just keep in mind, we all feel that someone on this team or another, whether Voch, you think that, Connor should play tackle or guard or center or whatever, right? You think someone or another is playing out of position. All of us think that.
Sure.
All of us. So we don't know what these guys are going to be doing because they may be realigned and reassigned based off of their true tendencies rather than, the coach's desires that we were looking at last year and the year before. That's what we were looking at with Richard and everybody else. But if you put these guys where they belong, they might not only look different on the field, but may feel more comfortable, and the scheme may work a lot better because even Jalen, I heard them talking about taking Jalen and playing him outside, period. We don't know. Like, depending on what you do with him, if you allow Jalen to pass rush more, because look at how often they blitzed him. Not a lot, but almost every time he blitzed, he made a lot of noise. If you would have blitzed him more, Jalen probably could have got 7 to 10 sacks from the middle. You know what I mean? From the middle. So, like, moving these guys around might mean a lot. You never know. And then scheme wise, if you're not asking these guys to stunt out of their gap every play, you're gonna stunt. Everybody stunts, but if you're not asking them to stunt every single play, you know what I mean, you're gonna see a different team.
That's why we gotta wait to see. That's why we gotta wait to see what they're gonna do.
Yeah, we just gotta wait and see. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't.
You might love a guy that you wanted gone. You know, Anthony Brown might come back and be like, what the fuck is that? You know, he blitzing now. Like
it's something that they saw in Anthony Brown opposed to that they didn't like in Jordan Lewis, because that's why they gave Anthony Brown $3 million and let Jordan Lewis just sit there. So something is going on.
I like Anthony Brown. I like
Anthony
him a lot.
Brown is another. You guys remember that dude, Dwight Lowry? I think his name was. Mm-hmm. He played safety and corner. He played for Atlanta. Played for Rex Ryan as a safety / nickel corner. The same kind of way we say they should use Cheeto. But I look at Anthony Brown like that guy, like good enough to make any team in the NFL all the time, but just never the guy. But he'll be on a lot of winning teams if he leaves the Cowboys or if he wins here, wherever. He'll be one of those guys that can go anywhere and play and get on the field and contribute too. But he's just not the guy you want saying, hey, you know, you line up on Ocho and I got this guy. Nah, he ain't that guy.
Hey, Voch, let me ask you this about Hill. Yes. How are you going to use him? Are you going to use him in a rotation? Sure. Or what are you going to do?
Sure. Rotate him.
Okay.
Gerald's the man when Tyrone Crawford's not doing like third down, 3-tech pass rush things. He'll probably be on the outside doing run stopping things. So if Crawford's outside doing run things, then we need another 3-tech. And I think Hill will be that guy. You know, we have guys that can play multiple spots, but the one thing I don't want Dontari in B gap. I don't want Gerald in A gap. I don't want Woods.
Definitely don't want Dontari Poe in B gap.
I just want everybody to be where they belong, and we'll be fine. We'll be good to go. I saw a couple people in my chat box piss me off talking about my D-line theory. Listen, like these first round D linemen don't count because they're talents,
they're
right?
First round for a
but
reason.
For the most part, if you look at these day two guys ain't playing immediately. They just don't. They just don't. Not. Even guys that you like Zach Allen, Ben Benogu, Renell Wren, guys like that get drafted, they're not gonna be who they are day one because they're gonna run into a grown man that do this and they're gonna be like, bruh, I'm not the shit no more. And they gotta grow. They gotta grow. You know what I'm saying? Just like we talk about wide receivers, they gotta learn how to get off press. You know what I'm saying? Because college don't press as much. D tackles got to learn how to line up against grown men and push them around.
That was the question I had with CeeDee Lamb. He really never saw press coverage.
Let me tell you this, Foots. I watched a lot of CeeDee Lamb film, and I was looking for the press coverage. Whenever they did press him, Jalen Hurts stopped looking at him. Jalen Hurts was just scared to throw the ball.
I just saw. You know what? And that was. Hey, I give Lincoln Riley. He schemed him up well, and that's what I was kind of saying. Mm-hmm. Just don't overthink him. But, you know, that was kind of my – but, you know, I like what you said.
Cobb.
I like what you said.
40% of his snaps was out of the what did you say, the slot, even in college.
The jet sweep decoy on their team, too. Even when they did everything off of him. Run the ball, the quarterback sneak, they did everything off of Lamb's motion.
And he's going to be the best receiver in the league in 4 years. Anyway, great discussion, gentlemen. Great discussion. Do we have to talk about how Tyler Badass fits in with the offensive line rotation? Do we have to get into that?
Man, that man is a man.
I want to. I kind of – so, Voch, I went and watched him. I want your thoughts on Tyler because
you don't like him?
This kind of – so, no, I love him.
I'm about to say he a battering ram.
I love him.
What do you have on him as it relates to pass pro?
That's where who cares?
Who cares?
Help the kid. He got the mentality to be able to teach pass protection. You know,
he's a Wisconsin player.
He's not a dumb guy. He's not a dumb kid.
Wisconsin O-lineman.
He communicates. But he has the temperament. He reminds me of Travis Frederick. I'm not saying like he reminds me of him as far as the way he blocks.
Sure.
His temperament, like that he looks like a dude that's a construction worker or a fucking logger. Like he chopped down trees all day and that's it. And he is
strong enough for that. He
like a lumberjack.
He is strong enough.
And he mean. So I'm like, yo, if you're mean, that's all I need, man. Be mean and be smart. And he's that. You can teach him everything else.
What I like about the Cowboys and what they have at center, For the most part, what a lot of teams will do, because there's not a lot of good offensive linemen. First of all, there are not a lot of good offensive linemen in the league, and I know people don't like drafting offensive line because it ain't sexy. But if I say draft one every year, because you just never know. You never know. But what a lot of people try to do with their centers is they'll take a guy that can line up everybody and that can move around a little bit, and they may not be powerful, but what they do is they'll just Voltron them and work them within their guards. All right, well, he may not be the biggest, strongest guy in the world. We'll just put him at center and let the guards combo with him.
Right.
What I like about the guys at center for the Cowboys, and I'm talking about Connor McGovern and Tyler Badass, however the rotation works out, I think they're the two guys for the most part. What we saw with Joe Looney is Joe was fine until he got exposed, and we played a team that got two good D tackles, and Ndamukong Suh picked his ass up and dropped him right on top of Zeke. And I never looked at Joe Looney the same. I never looked at Joe. I never looked at him the same.
It's the Ndamukong Suh though, man.
I don't care who it is.
He probably do that to Zach Martin too.
If Connor Williams can block Aaron Donald right next to you, you don't need to be getting picked up by Ndamukong Suh. First, give me 20 seconds. What I really like about our centers, you ain't moving Connor McGovern around. You ain't moving Tyler. Tyler's first year maybe, but when Tyler getting his man body and he catch up to the league, oh, good luck to you. We have two centers that can move people, and if Tyron Smith wakes up one day and decides that he's tired, and Connor Williams goes over to be the left tackle, Connor McGovern's gonna have to play right next to Connor McGovern's gonna play next to Tyler Badass, who's gonna be next to Zach Martin, who's gonna be next to Lael Collins. That's movement. That's
so
movement.
For 2020, who you got as your center?
Connor McGovern.
That's what we need to figure out.
You got to figure out, Voch.
Connor McGovern.
If you're going for overall,
Connor McGovern.
Connor McGovern. If you're going for overall, if you're going for just setting a tone, or are you just going for the run, then you would go Badass. But yeah, you're right, Voch. Connor McGovern.
Yeah,
because he's overall better. He got better feet.
Even though Connor McGovern, in my personal opinion, he may have the best chance starting at center this year, I think Badass is the center for the future, and Connor McGovern is your left guard for the future, and I think Connor Williams is your left tackle of the future.
They're both versatile. Badass is a pure center.
Sure.
The other two are versatile. They can play.
So collectively, y'all are saying hasta la vista, Joe Looney.
Joe can go. Ever since Ndamukong Suh, ever since
handcuff for all those guys, like he a good swing guy. Like we always keep a guy like him on the roster.
Ain't that what they just picked up a Cam Irvin to be your swing?
Cam can go.
Cam right
Cam, I'm cool on him.
I don't like him. I haven't watched him yet, so I can't.
I'm cool.
I tell you what I like about Cam.
Fleming all over again.
This is what I do like about Cam.
He got something that
right, man.
He got something that you really don't like, and Voch would know it. He don't play good discipline, and you can't have that as offensive lineman. Yeah. I mean, hitting people after the play, got grudges, hold grudges.
Relax.
He don't have that coolness.
I don't like his feet. His feet. His feet. I can't stand him. Look, his first two steps amazing. He'll go kick, and he'll get in perfect position. Then he'll chop them shits to some small steps and let somebody get on his chest. Oh, he can go. But what I do like about Cam Irvin, if anything, he played left tackle at Florida State. He got drafted to play center somehow. And then he moved to guard somehow, and he ended up right back at left tackle somehow. So
hey, look, Voch, that goes back to your theory. It's just not a lot of good linemen in the league, dog. You can hang around this league for years.
It's not. I agree.
Really being average.
But at the end of the day, though,
develop them no more. It's no more two-days and all that stuff. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if Cam Irvin's job is to come in and let Jalen Jokes fight with him or whatever, then fine. Do you think, Cam Irvin? Whatever.
He gonna fight. Remember, he was the guy that pulled the helmet off of David Irvin.
You can't do that out of practice, man.
You can't do that. Poking the eyes and all that stuff.
Get out of here. David Irvin soft for letting him do that to him.
David Irvin for president.
I think we crossed all the bases with the draft. So let's get into this schedule, and I'm not gonna do it too much because at the end of the day, I'm not a schedule guy. I wasn't too much excited about it. I didn't pop my popcorn to get it. But since we have it, let me put it on the screen for y'all. Since we have it, I kind of just want to run it by my peoples to get their thoughts, ideas, and opinions. Now, We're not going to get too in depth with it because I want Law to get those views on his channel. I want Foots to get the views on his channel. Brother Koye about to get the work, so I know he's going to drop something at some point. Voch may as well. But I do just want to hit on a handful of points here. I just want to get this off my chest, and I swear I'm going to let y'all talk. I don't want to say nothing else after I say this, but this is on my mind. I think sometimes Cowboy fans as a whole, we don't have enough faith in ourselves. You know what I mean? We don't have enough faith in what we do. Just as much as we'll look at a team and go, oh my God, that's Baltimore Ravens. They're good at this, this, and this. We don't look at ourselves and say that. Not one time do we look at ourselves and say we're good enough to beat that team. So when I see a lot of people making predictions, a lot of people bow down to the 49ers or they'll bow down. I saw some people saying, oh man, there's no way we're going to beat Kyler Murray and fuck Kyler Murray and the Cardinals and the Cardinals. So the way I feel, I see a lot of 10-6s of I wrote this down for Foots. Hold on, let me. It's on one of these notepads here. Foots say we was gonna lose to like what the Eagles and the Vikings or something, and I'm like, man, we was beating the shit out of these teams. Like it's just the one variable that lost us those games, in my opinion, or the two variables are gone. If Brett Maher didn't exist, like we win 3 games automatically. If Jason Garrett and whoever the hell don't take the ball out of Dak's hands at the end of the Vikings game while he's smoking the shit out the Vikings, we smoke the shit out the Vikings. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Jones don't run for 4 touchdowns. Mitch Trubisky got off somehow. I think all those problems are gone. So the only teams that I really foresee us that's giving us a fight is the 49ers and the Ravens, and I think we can beat them. It just depends on how you feel. Joe Burrow the GOAT, but he ain't ready this year. So I could be a homer, but fuck it, it's my show. Like I see us going 16-0 for real, with a cap of 14-2. If you want to talk 14-2, or maybe at the end when we resting people, you want to go 13-3 with me, maybe. But I don't see 10-6 on this team. I don't see 9-7, 11-5 on this team. I think we're gonna smoke the shit out of a lot of these people, and most of the hard games at the end, where we'll be in season form by then. I just don't foresee us having a problem with this schedule. We beat the shot of the Rams last year, and they guys is gone. Them guys is gone. They offensive line, Todd Gurley, and them, they got worse. Brandon Cook's gone. Them guys is gone. You know what I'm saying? You know when teams lose the Super Bowl for some reason, they just can't bounce back. 49ers don't bother me. I ain't losing sleep over the Falcons this year. Pittsburgh, Ben Roethlisberger fat. He don't want to play no football. I'm sorry. Go ahead, gentlemen. I just want y'all to kind of touch on what games y'all looking forward to. What games you think we're gonna have problems with? Who we gonna beat the hell out of? Foots, go first.
Go ahead, Foots.
So I said I went 12-4. I just think those Eagles games are always tricky. But you making some good points, and you know me and you were doing draft stuff in January, and we started to get to this theory about receiver and just having a really, really good offense. So I think that you can, even you look at I got us beating Baltimore on my channel.
We're gonna beat the shit out of Baltimore.
I think that you can outscore Baltimore. I think you can outscore a lot of teams. The one question that I have is Minnesota's a tough place to play. And they have an old school physical mindset. That's how we lost to them last year. They were just tougher than us. And they just played with a fullback who was mauling our backers. So hey, things could change there. And I just think that San Francisco D-line with adding Kinlaw just unfair, bro. So that's my only thoughts when it comes to San Fran. And they run the ball well too, like really well. And that zone scheme, if you don't see it all the time, it's hard to stop. Like that zone running scheme is, and it's only certain coaches who know how to run it, and you had to have came from that Shanahan tree to really run it correctly. So that's kind of why I went that way, but I got us at 12-4 about it. One thing
before I let Law go. Great point about the 49ers, though. But the one interesting thing, though, just in terms of how they match up with us, I think DeForest Buckner is the best run defending D tackle in the game, and he gone. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I don't think Kinlaw showing up day one beating Zach Martin. I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying?
But I do think that Bosa is going to give Tyron Smith, hell, he's so good, bro. Like Bosa is crazy. That's just me.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, bro,
I've
like even people calling Chase Young Bosa is off to me. You know,
Right.
Nick Bosa is unreal, dog.
Yeah.
Against the run and in the pass game.
They gonna beat the shit out of Nick Bosa. Go ahead, go ahead, Law. Law, you had something.
Yeah. Here's the thing is, and y'all kind of put my feet to the fire last night with this me going 12-4. I really want to see them in practice. I really want to see what they're gonna look like in preseason. Nevertheless, I think that we can probably go a good 12-4. Now, Voch, you was right about CD. You was right about CD Lamb being picked with the first pick, what have you, with the Dallas Cowboys.
Young money right here.
So you can be right on the money again with the 16-0 that got dogging me. We're gonna have to do something about that. You know what I mean?
Law, let's be fair.
Lottery tickets and stuff
Law,
like that.
let's be fair. We probably gonna go 13-3, but it's just in my pedigree not to back down on nobody. I think we're gonna win all the games. That's coach talk.
Win them all.
That's coach talk. We're gonna win all of them. Go ahead.
But I think that the Minnesota Vikings game, I think that this guy Mike McCarthy, he knows how to play against the Minnesota Vikings. And on top of that, the 49ers may give us a little fits. I think early on the Seattle Sea Chickens, they may give us a little fits. And I think that this year, unfortunately, I hate to be this guy, but I think that the Redskins, Deadskins, Foreskins maybe steal one again from us. And you got to add into the fact that that's 3 games that I pointed out. And I got to say this, Roger Goodell, he's still mad at Jerry Wayne for trying to sue the man or try to take the man, try to get this job gone for $45 million. Look, we get mad at somebody if somebody take $5 from us. So that it's always going to be a crazy game. And I hate to sound like that, one of those fans. But you remember the Seattle game, the Saints game, Ezekiel Elliott elbows inside the ground, and they still said it's a fumble. So look for Roger Goodell to play at least one type of player hate move on us. So that's why I say 12-4.
We ain't losing no damn Seahawks.
Sea chicken.
Koye, what you got, man?
I'm with you, man. See, hey, Law Foots, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Talk that shit.
Mentality, man.
Talk that shit.
Mentality. It ain't about the record. It's about the mentality, man. We can't be worried about no motherfucking Roger Goodell because that's external. It's force versus power. You know what I'm saying? Force come from external shit. That's when you're worried about shit outside yourself. Right? Power come from within, though, right? We should only be worried about what we supposed to be doing. Damn. Right? The Patriots not saying that. Oh man, deflate gate. They like, man, shit, we winning it again.
Talk to them. Talk to them.
I ain't worried about none of that. They ain't saying, oh, Joey and Nick Bosa, their genes are just so off the charts. Damn. I don't know what to do anymore. Damn. You know what I'm saying? They not doing none of that. You know why? They like, well, we got to prepare for Young and we're going to chop his fucking legs out if you come up in here with
talk
that
to
shit.
them.
You hear me? So we got to have a mentality top to bottom, not just as fans, but as players as well, where it comes to like, if we set the tone that way, where we coming to punch you in the mouth and we just going to see what you're going to do about it. And sometimes you might have what it take to deal with it. Sometimes you won't. Whatever that shake out to, as long as we are fighting team going into the playoffs with momentum, I don't give a shit what our record is. I don't care. As long as we make the Giants won a Super Bowl 9-7. So I'll take 9-7 plus with momentum going into the playoffs. And as long as we are a more physical, gritty team that's playing to our strengths rather than, some coach's fantasy, I'll be happy with that. Boy. And I really, but it's all mentality.
Well, I was with you.
Like, I want everybody
like the Godfather.
I was with you till you said 9-7.
I don't give a fuck.
I was with you.
I don't give a fuck.
Let me ask y'all fellas this though. Let me ask y'all fellas.
I do like the fact that we got the bye week at the 10th. So it's way in the back part. So now we can be, real rested and ready to get this thing going in the back half of the season. So if we lose, may us lose early, but we win all the way out, But Voch, he said we not speaking loss around here, right?
All I'm gonna tell you is, if Joey Bosa go crazy, I'm coming back and find this video.
I ain't scared of none of them Bosa cheering, man. We got Terrence Smith, man.
Crazy. Trying to tell y'all, hey, look, at the end of the day, I'm a realist. I didn't had hold on, Voch. I've been watching this team for too damn long. It's been 20 years. I get it, but we haven't had no real off season. I've been watching this team for so long, bro. call it how I see it.
Nick
And
Bosa
to
ain't
be
got all
honest
season
with you,
either.
12-4, y'all like a reach. I got to see it come together. I just got to see it. I want to see it come together, and that's just it. I just want to see it come together.
We the best in the world.
I definitely. Hey, look, it sounds good, but I wanna see it come together.
You know what's gonna happen to San Francisco? Look, Nick Bosa, shouts out to him. He may get 2 sacks. Shouts out to him. But you know what's gonna happen, though, Playboy? This is gonna happen. They gonna come out there with that run the football mess, and Cowboys gonna start putting points up. They gonna go, shit, Jimmy got to do something.
Yeah.
Jimmy got to do something.
Average 30 points a game.
Sure, outrunning people. But what happens in the Super Bowl? Let's talk about the Super Bowl. When they got to throw the ball.
We don't have that. Hold on.
We
don't have that.
Huh?
I'm not even. Bro, we don't have a quarterback who can make those throws, bro.
Oh,
see, Foots. Let me stop you, Foots. Let me just pause you, Foots. I don't see. First of all, football math don't bother me. Second, Pat Mahomes is great. He's the best quarterback in the league. He's not godly though, because against the 49ers, he was looking regular. He was looking kind of regular for a little bit until he got his groove. We ain't gotta be Pat.
Regular. Y'all, you making my point, good man.
Nah, look, cause look. Watch this. Just watch this.
They also got a good linebacking core too.
Watch this though. Dak ain't got to be Pat because we have advantages on our team that they probably ain't got. They ain't got Zeke. They don't have a good. They don't have as thick a receiver core as we got. They tight end better.
Hold on, whoa. So Tyreek Hill isn't better than Amari Cooper.
Sammy Watkins ain't shit to me. Mecole Hardman.
Richard Sherman in the Super Bowl.
Mecole Hardman don't mean nothing to me.
Mecole is a dog.
Mecole is fast. Mecole run. Brother Foots. Listen. Brother Foots, Mecole runs fast. Mecole ain't better than Michael Gallup. Mecole runs a fast 40. He takes the top off the defense. He's a special teams Pro Bowler. Mecole ain't a better receiver than Michael Gallup, Brother Foots.
Well,
Tyreek Hill is amazing.
Hold on. That was Harmon's rookie year. Let's see him year 2.
Okay.
Listen, I call Michael Gallup. You right. Listen.
That's only because Foot's cousin played for the 49ers.
That's what it is. Somebody from DC on that team. Somebody from DC over there.
You see Sherman over there. He's like, I got to get my cousin to win. You know what I mean?
Hey, but look. Hey, man. Listen, you want to know? I lost a lot of money betting against that San Fran team. That's why I'm mad, too.
You should have done it.
You can get it back this year. Come redeem yourself.
That's probably why I feel that way, because I was literally – so, when you bet, you really be watching every play. And when I'm seeing Bosa scream all day, people in the chat about how you scream Bosa. Bosa is a certified dog.
I thought we was talking about the Chiefs.
That nigga crazy.
I thought we was talking about the Chiefs.
You can say, I would never go to war. I wouldn't go to war with you, bro, because I feel like I lost.
I'm not playing the game, so I'm a fan.
I know you're gonna do what it do when you get there, but before I get there, I'll be shook as hell. I'm like, man, they might whoop our ass. It's like David versus Goliath out this.
Listen,
not even that. They gotta deal with us too. You gotta acknowledge it's just being real. Us as fans, we think we the only team that exists. There's good players all over the league.
Exactly. But the opposing teams, if we get Alden Smith and my guy Randy back, they're gonna be looking at it like, man, them Dallas Cowboys.
But you know what though, Foots though?
Against them.
Hey, listen, no real talk, Foots. I think that's the opposite of, for the most part, of what Cowboy Nation is. I don't think Cowboy Nation don't think that other teams are great. I think sometimes we too close to the mirror. We don't know how good we are. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes.
Look, I feel you, bro. Like, people can call me. I'm here for the team. Listen.
Stop reading the chat box, first of all. Stop reading the chat box. Talk to us.
No.
They bother you.
I like interacting with the chat box. You got the chat box, bro. I love the chat box. It don't matter to me. Here's the thing.
Hold on, let me
Voch, you coach. When you coach, bro, you understand. You got to be real and you got to analyze your team. You know what I'm saying? And to me, is one of them things. It's like, I'm just analyzing my team. You talk about Tyron Smith going out. His back start tripping, bro. We in trouble, especially down the stretch. I ain't putting no Connor Williams out there. We definitely in trouble. You feel what I'm saying? So
will Tyron Smith be in trouble against the Cleveland Brown team? Who they got to do to pull the helmets off of people and throw it at them?
They're actually been like really good.
Foots,
so you're gonna have trouble that week too.
I don't know.
Just as much as you may not like Connor Williams, I'm sure there's an offensive lineman on their team they don't like. every team ain't gonna have 22 Pro Bowlers. You just got to find your matchups and run it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You know, I just don't fear teams like that, man. And I ain't saying that you fear anybody neither. But when I think Pat Mahomes, I think, man, look, he wasn't undefeated last year. He won a Super Bowl. He ain't win the year before. So it's just my job to find out how to beat him. If we line up, look, we play the Rams week 1. If we played the Chiefs week 1, I'm not gonna comply and just say, "Whoop, that's a W." Let's see what we can do. Let's figure this out. Let's get some sacks on Pat Mahomes.
I got us beating the Rams. We smoked the Rams last year. I got us beating.
Well, the Rams whack. The Rams whack. But go ahead.
It's just gonna be tricky. You know, I want to see how we stop that zone run scheme too. It's just hard to defend, man. Like, it's just tricky. And then with them having that tight end, you know what I'm saying? Because Kittle is like the last of the Mohicans as far as a tight end that can block really well and can catch the ball really, really well. So I just think, you know, some games is a bad matchup, bro.
Let me ask you.
So let me ask y'all this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Talk about San Fran scoring, and then I was like, I kind of thought the same thing too. Is you, Voch, but then you see them in that Saints game, like they was able to score points. You know what I mean? So, they definitely beatable. Don't get me wrong, like they beatable, bro. Sure. But you know, I'm just when I made that prediction, it's just, you know, you just looking at.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got
you. Hey, look, you know who's good though, Voch, on that team?
Who's that?
Sneaky draft pick.
Who?
Fred Warner.
Sure.
Fred
Warner. Sneaky, he panned out really well.
But we're gonna smoke the shit out of Fred Warner when Zeke come through that goddamn. One more thing, gentlemen, and I'm gonna let y'all go. We're gonna wrap this thing up after this one thing. Do you think we can repeat being the best offense in the league? Taking who we lined up against, because in my opinion, that's our strength. Like, you know, we're an offensive team and our defense just got to do enough. I think the defense is going to be better than that, but they got to do enough to where just make the other team not score more points than us. So as an offense, do you think we can repeat being the best in the league?
I think so. I think we can be the best. We're going to be even better in offense. I think we are improving red zone, money zone, green zone, from the simple fact that we went out there and got Mike McCarthy, who is a better red zone type of coach, what have you. And I think that Kellen Moore, by being his second year with the offensive coordinator, being that role, I think that Ezekiel Elliott, he will call and draft up better plays. Me and Okoye talked about that earlier this year. I think that those two things will be better. My two things that I want Dak Prescott to do a little bit more this year, just to have some objectivity. I want him to throw a better fade ball in the red zone. I think that he's going to practice and improve on that. And I want him to take more chances in running the ball with his legs. I know he got the Mississippi State legs. I understand that last year he was playing for that contract, so that may be the situation there. Moving over to the defensive side of the ball, I think we have more aggressions on our defense. I think that we will jump more routes. And one thing that I did pick up from the other interviews earlier this week is that they're going to blitz more. He said he's always sending at least one. So I think that we'll be more blitz happy. Last year and the previous years, we were number one in blitzing, because when we blitzed, we did get home. We just didn't blitz a lot. I bet you team was looking at it like, oh, this team is blitzing all of a sudden. So I look at that, and guess what? Our offense, you was talking about 40 burgers, my dog over there, Voch Lombardi. You was talking about 40 burgers. I think we can do that. On top of that, on the defensive side of the ball, defense travel. So I'm looking at all of those things, and by us having a late bye, and by us being now more of a team that's going to have a home field advantage, because I think that this coaching staff will get us there. I think that we will be a whole lot better than what we were and exhibit and exude in the previous years. Let's go, Cowboys. Let's go.
Facts.
Brother Koye?
I think it's
as an offense.
It's an automatic, and it's real simple.
I like a Koye. We start talking this shit. Go ahead.
No, that's automatic. Just because we had number one offense last year, we were pretty damn good last year, right? Yeah. But you know, what we didn't have was a defense that was opportunistic, that could turn the ball over. And I doubt that we're going to be as anemic as we've been in the last 2 years at forcing turnovers. And and that's one thing that we really can't account for. Like even when we said the defense might not be that good, but they all right with how we just gave them that knock. Our defense was built then, and I think it's still, well, maybe now we're more balanced, but we're built to play with a lead. When we're playing with a lead where we know that teams are not going to have to air it out, that's when you get sacks. You get a lot more interceptions because teams in the fourth quarter are forced to throw the ball against you. You know what they're doing. We weren't afforded that in most of our games last year. We were the guys coming back. We're not built that way. So if we can get out and up front on teams, we're going to start destroying teams because that defense that wasn't getting turnovers because they don't know what's coming either. If in the fourth quarter, if a team's running on you because they have options because you're only up 7 points or because you're down, they can run. You don't know what's coming. That means you have to bite on those play actions a little more, or whatever misdirections there are, because you can't predict what a team's doing when they have options to do whatever the hell they want. You can't say, oh, they're passing. It's not like. That's why we love third downs, because we know, are they probably passing on third and long? We can predict what they're doing. We can kind of zero in on what type of blitz or pressure we want to bring because we know what they're doing. And if you have a whole half to play like that, those are games we're going to blow out the water, man. If our defense can get the ball back to this offense that was already pretty good last year, of course we're going to be number one.
100%, man. Plus, kicking game can't get no damn worse.
Facts.
So help my quarterback with that, please. Would you?
Right.
Would you? Got old Bones Fossil.
Man, we went through a whole show and they talk about Andy Dalton. That's crazy.
Oh man,
What about to care about no Andy Dalton, dog?
That need a whole show.
What
right
we talking
there.
about Andy Dalton for? For what?
Shut that down.
Talk about no Andy Dalton. What he gonna do? Nah, man. Andy he's a starting quarterback playing backup for us. I think that's good, but I think Dak's the man. Dak's the man. And if Andy got to play 5 games, I think he'll win 3 for us. So, Something else too though, and let me just get on the Cowboy fans. This right before I say this, before we wrap this up, man. Cowboy fans, somebody hit me up and say, well, Voch, Andy Dalton's your quarterback now. If he's making this much and Dak is making this much, then are you saying that Dak is 3 times better than Andy? Why don't you just keep Andy? Let me tell you something, man. We not in this for like this ain't Madden, okay? Right. We in this to win Super Bowls. And when it comes to winning Super Bowls, you either feel like you can or you can't. I feel like Andy Dalton cannot. I feel like Dak Prescott indeed can. So ain't no need of saving money on Andy Dalton if he can't win a Super Bowl for you. At some point, you have got to let your money talk. You know what I'm saying? You just can't value your way through this thing. It's 2 types of teams. You either trying to win a Super Bowl or you building a team. Andy Dalton as a $3 million player starting quarterback for you is a team building thing. You let him play, you build your roster, then you draft some stud later. Fine. We trying to win a Super Bowl this year. I don't think Dalton wins a Super Bowl for you. So.
Hey, real quick.
Yes, sir.
Why y'all think the deal not done? That's just crazy to me.
Because the deadline's in June.
It makes perfect sense though.
The deadline's in June. It's
good. It's good business. It's not like, see, people keep looking at this shit like it's somebody doing something to Dak, though, right? And that's not what this is.
I don't look at it like
they
that.
They got to say yes.
A lot of people keep coming at it like that, though. Like, Dak is being done dirty. Dak was offered something that he don't want. He's betting on himself, and that's his right to do that, right? And as an organization, they're trying to get their leverage back, because if Dak does hold out, you're not going to let him, strap the whole team. So you go out and get a guy to handcuff that situation. That only makes sense. But the difference between Dak holding out and any other quarterback on any other team is this, right? You got quarterbacks who hold out because they feel like they deserve it because they've carried their team, and then their coach, their ownership is not even putting anything around them, like the Donovan McNabbs of yesteryear, right? They're not putting anything around him to make him win. He's just winning. That guy's like, okay, well, you can clearly see he's carrying them to wins. What the Cowboys have done, they've gotten rid of every scapegoat, every excuse that Dak could ever have, and they've given him everything he would ever need to be able to go out there this year and prove that you're worth exactly what you're saying you want. You got the stage right now. So if anything, it's like, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. They've given Dak exactly what he wants, a situation where he can go in here and he can earn not only his respect, but the check that he wants, whatever that is, empty checkbook. He can go in there and do that this year because the stage is set for him to do it. Or he can fold and he won't get it, but he is betting on himself. If he wasn't doing that, take the fucking 35 that they offered you and just shut up about it, and we wouldn't be talking. But he doesn't want that. He betting on himself. So this is not the organization situation is like going and getting Handy Dalton is like, of course you want the best player. I'd rather have him than Cooper Rush behind him. That's just me. That's just me. I ain't mad at it. So do your thing.
Deadlines in June, man. Deadlines in June,
yeah,
and
that can do his thing, man.
That's it.
Yeah, I just want to see it. I want to see. I'm just interested.
It's early.
Hey, let me ask y'all this.
We got time. Go ahead.
We gonna have football with fans in the stands. This
football will be yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We got a long way to go. We got from now till September to figure this out. So I think football happens. I think fans will be there. COVID they already got their little reports on it. So hell man, we got June, July, and even August. So sure, we'll be good. I think football's good to go. Fans, we'll see, but whatever,
that's where I'm at too.
Whatever.
I don't know. We'll see fans. I'm hoping, but at least in Maryland, they so scary. It's
yeah.
They talking about delaying them going back to school until January in Maryland. So
we got
we'll
time.
see. I don't know. I wouldn't do that either because this they're crazy. But anyway.
But listen,
I just want to hear y'all's opinion on that.
You good. Hey, fantastic show, gentlemen. I know we don't get together and do this all the time. You know what I mean? But when we do it, it's fantastic. Koye kick in the door, don't even say hey, he just start fussing. but that's why we like him. That's why we here. That's why he here. Let me scroll down and address my super chats real fast, and we're gonna wrap up. Damn, what's that Roman numeral? 10, 1, 9 fresh. Drop 5 in the super chat. Appreciate you. Brother Naeem done dropped like 120 or so. Appreciate you. He just said the best channel, words of wisdom. Shouts out to the round table. Shouts out to you, Brother Naeem. Thanks. Pick and Pop dropped another dime in the super chat. Appreciate you. And we got one last one I can't see. I'm going to get in the chat box and find that one. Just scroll up, see if I can find it. Right there. Landon Ishmael dropped a deuce in there. Says Law forgot to mention special teams. Hey man, Law is busy. Law been working his ass off. Law tired, y'all. He tired. Law, where can the people find you, sir?
Man, LAW Nation, man, just put that in your Google and you'll see me on Facebook, YouTube, and multiple channels on YouTube, as well as Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, and on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick TV.
Lord.
Let's go, baby.
Law on everything. I ain't know we
came
on that.
Too, ain't you, Law?
I did.
Oh, Reddit as well.
I like Reddit. Reddit's a good platform.
Daily Motion. I just picked up them too, so I'm there as well.
I ain't know we came on all that. Brother Koye, what you got, sir?
What we doing now? We just
plugging,
saying where we from, or just
plugs.
giving our little 30-second plug?
30-second plug, sir. Or you can
30-second plug here.
45 plug.
No, I'm only fucking with you, man. At the end of the day, man, I don't know. Like I'm happy about the way this year's like unfolding, because the drama's building up more so this year than any other year. I think for me, because everything's kind of behind, and there was a lot of turmoil going on personally for me too. So this year's never been more of an escape. Football's never been more of an escape for me than it is right now, and I'm loving that. And then I have the freedom and the wherewithal to be like where I'm at right now because of you guys, or because of just starting this when I did. Starting now, I wouldn't have been as deep or in tune with it right as I am. So I'm excited. Like I've never been more excited about a core group that we have coming in union with a group of draft picks, even the undrafted free agents. I'm about to dig into them too. So that's all exciting all the way down. I never even gave a fuck about an undrafted free agent. I'm looking at those guys now. See what I'm saying? So with that, and then you got the drama and the narrative coming into the season with Dak and his contract, and Dak and his brother, rest in peace to his brother as well. We all had some situations over this span. So, moment of silence for all that. But at the end of the day, that was a short ass moment of silence too. It wasn't no disrespect. Right. I just know if I try to go. but
we'll get one at the end.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like right now it's a powder keg, man. I'm just waiting for it to bubble out, because this is my escape right now, man. I'm loving it.
This is a great escape, indeed, sir. Indubitably. 20,000 sub foots, man. Talk to him.
Man, hey, Thank you for having me. Good talks, y'all. It's always good to go back and forth with you guys. Hey, look, I want to say I'm very happy with the draft.
Yeah,
we kind of were on that early, Voch, about kind of a lot of these guys. We covered a lot of these guys, and Law, you can kind of attest to that. You jumped on some of these joints that me and Voch were talking about. So it's been a lot of late nights. I ain't been getting no sleep because I just had a little one. So, and having a little one with this, thanks, fam. Having a little one through this COVID stuff was a nightmare. And I'm going to tell you that.
Yeah. It
was a mess. But, to God be the glory, pulled us through. So it's he's healthy and it's all good. Anyway, I am excited, regardless of what people think. I'm very excited about the season. I want to see. So I'm very curious to see how Mike puts it all together, but this is not the time for that. It's the time to plug. So Cowboys Nation TV. I just want to see. I just want to see it. I want to see it, Voch. I just want to see how it looks.
Y'all can tell. Y'all can tell.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just want to see. I just want to see.
Sure.
I just want to see it all come together. Like,
hey man,
see how it looks.
But Voch, you know what this mean though, don't you?
What I mean?
Okoye just had his little one, right? Okoye. And my guy Foots just had his.
Yes, sir.
Now, my baby is due next month.
Okay.
On June the 23rd. So I'm a girl dad, so it'll be another girl. I don't know how I'm gonna get a little junior in this thing. Y'all tell me some tips. So that means Voch, come on, man.
Hey, man.
Come on.
Why you cursing that man like that?
I ain't no cursing.
Law. Listen, man. Let me tell you something. I'm very disciplined, man. I get it out of there.
Time, fam.
I get it. I'm disciplined. I get it out of there. But I tell you what, when I start, I start. I'm trying to have 5 of them before I'm gone. But anyway, that was Foster King at Cowboy Nation TV.
Oh, look at him!
He ain't even plug his.
Hey, let me tell you this.
He's running.
Hey, let me tell you this, bro.
He squirmed out of that.
As smart as you are, bro, as good of a person as you are, bro, you gonna make a great pop. And I'm gonna tell you, bro.
I can't wait.
Hey,
look, man.
Bro, it's times I'm tired, bro. I be up at 3 o'clock just staring at my son like, damn, this shit cool. And I know the rest of the dads can attest to that, bro.
Thanks,
like, it's cool. I know for me, it's nothing greater. Like, even content slowed down. I don't care about none of that, bro.
Somebody in the comments said, "Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby."
They said over here, out method.
Hey, listen though.
Evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Hey, yo, but look.
Hey, don't worry, Voch gonna slip up.
But hey, peep this out though. Listen. Let's wrap the show up. Then we're gonna talk about this. Let's wrap the show up. I'm dropping a link in my chat box right now. I just made the film for Sean McKeon and Charlie Topu. Those are our 2 undrafted free agent tight ends. I'm doing my series on the undrafted free agents. Y'all go click that link right now, and we're gonna go over there and we're gonna watch the premiere. It's about to premiere right now. Like that video, like this video, sub to this video, and all that good stuff. Comment on this, comment over there. I appreciate y'all. The round table is fantastic for Law Nation, Foster King, Koye Media. I'm Voch Lombardi. We about to sign off and talk about getting people pregnant, man. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski and the Peasky Whiskey, man. Salute.